The following day, we're invited up to Wichita Falls in Texas for a barbecue lunch with Tom Gutter, Smoke, and the team at Nitrous Express. After lunch, we were given a tour of their facility, as well as being hooked up with a mainline nitrous kit, which will be used on the truck and installed in the next episode.
I just have to check how to do it first.
Yeah.
Make sure that I don't.
They've been watching a bunch of old man's garage. They know about banging through the motor. Hey, you gotta be careful. That's just addicting, boy.
Yeah.
It's addicting as hell.
We then returned south to Crowley, where Chaz had offered up his garage space and his help for the evening, so he could get a few of the key items knocked over on the truck. The first things to sort were the tail shaft loop and radiator overflow. These are essential safety items required to enter a car into RaceWeek. Next up was diagnosing the misfire issue. It turned out one of the spark plug leads had actually contacted the exhaust headers, causing it to melt. It was then on to replacing the faulty power steering pump, which had been giving us issues since basically day one. It turns out the starter motor was on its way out, so another quick trip to O'Reilly's to get a new one would give us some peace of mind heading into RaceWeek. After adjusting the loose throttle cable and topping up the brake fluid and oil, it was time to call it a night. The next day, we headed just down the road to DFW Speed Syndicate. Bill and DK run a custom workshop specialising in old school F-truck builds as well as Hummers, so if you need anything done in the DFW area, hit them up. Bill was generous enough to let us use his workshop and his extensive knowledge on cars and making anything go fast to help get the Silverado up to scratch and also install the nitrous system. First up was a new set of tyres, as these ones had truly seen their use by date and the front driver's side was starting to wobble and could have given way at any moment. We headed down the road in one of Bill's project Hummers to drop the tyres off and grab a quick bite to eat at Mickey D's Diner, which we highly recommend. Next up, it was time to replace the delicious old oil with some new stuff and a new filter. The spark plug leads were still contacting the headers, giving us issues, so as preventative maintenance, we replaced them with new leads and overdid the heat shielding to stop any more issues in the future. The passenger side engine mount was also completely stuffed, so we ended up just welding that to the chassis. After the timing was adjusted, it was on to replacing the leaky old exhaust manifold gaskets. Next, it was off to Doghouse Performance for a much needed wheel alignment. After some gentle persuasion with a blowtorch, Adam was able to get the truck driving in a straight line again. Back in the workshop, it was time for the final item, installing the rear diff housing cover. The car's already running a welded differential from the previous owner, so adding this cover will just give the stock diff housing some extra rigidity and peace of mind when launching the car off prep track surfaces. Join us next time when we show you how to install a mainline nitrous system from Nitrous Express.